you can go ahead and go join us live on Facebook. Click the link at the top of the room. For those of you on Clubhouse, join us on Facebook. Those of you that just joined us on YouTube and Facebook, good morning. Super excited to be here with you today. We're going to talk about the one or two little tweaks, really one or two little tweaks that you need to make in order to reach ultra high levels of your greatness, of success, of the potential that you know and feel exists inside of you. We're also going to, I've got some footage, man. I got some old footage I'm going to pull up that's going to make both me and you feel a little nostalgic that I think that you're going to like. We're going to talk about knowing specifically which screw it is you need to screw in order to tune things up a little bit. We're also going to be talking about golfing and baptisms and rituals, and we might even have a little TikTok Tuesday in here. That and more on today's episode of GM3X. I'm so glad you're here. It's time to rise and grind. Welcome to GM3X. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to 8, and the founder of the 800% Elite Club. I hope you're ready for motivation, education, inspiration, celebrity interviews, and thought-provoking conversations, because it's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Tuesday. That's right. Today is Tuesday, October 4th, 2022. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Tuesday, October 4th, 2022. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most, of this absolutely incredible, incredible day. Hey, every once in a while, I break out this red hoodie, and every time I break out the red Rise and Grind hoodie right here, every time I break this sucker out, I just always think of you, Vicki Everett. So I want to say good morning to Vicki Everett right out the gate. I know this is your favorite hoodie every time I wear it. So good morning to you. Hey, I'm actually really excited. I am excited to be in town on a Tuesday. I'm just saying, because y'all know, Tuesday is, Taco Tuesday, right? Taco Tuesday. And I am excited to actually be in town. I've been traveling a ton, but when I'm in town, what we do is we go have tacos on Tuesday at my mom's house. And see, my mom, her and my stepdad, Everett, they will invite us over and they will have tacos. The tacos are delicious, by the way. And we go over there as a family and we take all the kids. And typically what we do is my mom will kind of watch all the kids, and my wife and I will eat some tacos, get a Blizzard from Dairy Queen, and sit on the couch and watch Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. And I know for some of y'all like, that doesn't sound really exciting. Well, listen, first of all, the tacos are amazing. You don't even know, so I don't want to hear it, okay? Let's just start there. Second of all, when you got 8 kids, to be able to sit down on the couch for like an hour and let other people chase your circus around, there ain't nothing better, man. There ain't nothing better. Now, tonight, it'll be a little bit different because Mom is actually visiting my grandmother up in D.C. So Mom is not there tonight. So we're going to have to be somewhat responsible for the children, but we're still going to get the tacos. So I am super excited about that. And here's what's crazy. So we go up from our house to my mom's house is, we're roughly 15 minutes. They live roughly 15 minutes away. And what's crazy is my wife and I actually bought my parents the house that they live in right now. Right? Like, my childhood was a little different, and my mom and I didn't get along so well because her son was kind of a punk, right? So I was like kind of a punk. I was in and out of jail a lot. I was in a lot of trouble when I was a kid. I gave my mom a lot of grief when I was young, man. I'm surprised she survived. And so once I made some changes in my life, it was always important to me that I was able to give back to my mother. I always wanted to do that. And I didn't know exactly what that was going to look like. But one day, I called my mom. I remember calling my mom on a Sunday. And I called my mom, and she answered the phone. It was early on a Sunday, and she answered the phone. And the tone with which she answered the phone was not a tone that I liked. And I said, Mom, what's wrong? Like, it sounded like something was wrong. I said, Mom, what's wrong? And she said, oh, nothing. I'm just dreading going to work tomorrow. And I looked at my watch. I'm like, dreading going to work tomorrow. Like, it's Sunday morning. It's early Sunday morning, and you're already dreading going to work tomorrow. I said, man, that's no good. I don't like this. And so I got off the phone with my mom, and I actually had a thought. And the thought that I had was that I'm going to get a phone call from Flagstaff, Arizona, and that phone call, they're going to tell me that my mother has passed away. That's the thought that I had. Because I had that same phone call. My father passed away on a Sunday afternoon. So just in my heart, I was like, I'm going to get a phone call that my mother has passed away because she's miserable about her work. She did not want to work. And most people, I didn't know if you know this or not, most people die on Monday morning. Most people that die from natural causes die on Monday morning. Most people would rather die than go to their jobs. And so I got off the phone with my mom, and I said to my wife, and for those of you that are on Clubhouse, if you want to check it out, we're rolling the video right now of when I bought my parents this house, when they saw their house for the first time. So click on the link there at the top. You can come check it out, right? So after getting off the phone, I'm like, I think then like this isn't cool. My mom's, she's not living a happy life. She's happy with her husband. She's got great friends. But on Sunday morning, she's already dreading going to work, right? So this video that you are all watching, I see a bunch of people just jumped in. This is the first time my parents ever saw the house that they live in. My mom, after that phone call, I talked to my wife and I said, honey, I want to buy my parents a house, but I'll only buy them a house if they come to Kentucky. I want them to come to Kentucky so they can be a part of our kids' lives, so that they can be grandparents, so that I can see my mom. And I don't want her to ever have to work. We're going to pay for the house. We're going to pay for her bills. I don't ever want her to have to work again. And so my wife said, okay, all right, let's go, honey. And so she went and she picked out this house that you see right here in this video. She picked out this house, and I called my mom and I said, hey, Mom, guess what? We're going to buy you a house, but you have to move to Kentucky. And my mom said, nah, man, that ain't happening. We ain't ever leaving Flagstaff. And a couple months later, I called her. I said, hey, Mom, we're going to buy you a house, but you have to move to Kentucky. And my mom said, well, I don't think we're going to ever leave Flagstaff, but we'll keep it in mind. And then a little bit later, my mom calls and my mom says, hey, JR, were you serious? Were you serious about buying us a house? I said, yeah, Mom, I'm serious. As soon as you're ready to move to Kentucky, my wife and I will buy you a house. You'll never have to work again. And so one day she called and she said, we're ready. My wife picked out a house. We bought the house. We never even sent her a picture of it. We didn't ask her opinion or advice on it. We knew that she would love it. And so we bought my parents a house, and they traveled all the way across the United States of America. And the video that you're watching right now is them literally seeing their home for the first time. And this was 7 years ago. So my mom and my stepdad and I's relationship went from one where I was breaking her heart every single day to one where now we are so excited to spend our Taco Tuesdays together. And my mom comes to the house and she helps Leslie with the kids very, very, very often. My kids know their grandparents. They sleep over at grandma's house every Tuesday night. There's a sleepover. And what's crazy is I never would have imagined, right? Like back in the day, never would have imagined with the way that our relationship was that we'd be in a position to be able to do this. And what's crazy is my mom watches this show like every day, right? She watches every day. She's a super proud mama, and she's always beaming. People come up to her here in Paris, Kentucky. They're like, "We know your son." She's like, "Yeah, right. That's my boy." "Yeah, that's my son. That's my son." She's so proud, man. And to think all it took was one or two little tweaks in the way that I thought, like one or two tweaks in who I identified myself as, right? Like it wasn't a huge transition from the punk that I was to the dude that married a beautiful woman, has a big family, and is able to buy his mom a house. Like it was just a couple little tweaks, right? First, I had to shift my thinking just a little bit. And I had to start thinking, okay, how can I take who I am, my skills, my gifts, and use them for good instead of evil? Then I had to put into place, or I was gifted with the power of a morning routine, right? I started just diving into powerful morning, doing things right in the morning, changing the way I started my day, right? And that's what this week is really about, you know? Here on GM3X. You see, here's what I know about you. I know that most, for the most part, you are most likely one or two tweaks away from unprecedented levels in your life. Seriously, you're most likely just one or two tweaks away. Now, I know it seems like a lot more. You're like, oh my gosh, if I could just get this opportunity, if I could change this, if I had this, oh my God, there's so many different things going on in my life that have to change. I mean, I got this going on, I got this going on. I need all of this. And the reality is, it's one or two little tweaks, man. To go from where you are, wherever that is, successful, not successful, ultra successful, whatever level you're at, you're one or two tweaks away from unprecedented levels of success. This is what I talk to my dealers about all the time at 800% Club. I'm like, look, dude, you think you have to reinvent the whole thing. You don't. It's one or two tweaks. The key, though, is you have to know exactly which screws to turn, right? Understanding what are the one or two little tweaks that I need to make to be able to reach those new levels. That, my friends, is the real question. And that's what we're going to dive into today right here on GM3X. Before we do, though, you know what we got to do on this show? You know we got to do some dancing. We got to do some dancing. That's right, folks. Come on now. It's first thing in the morning. Let's get it rocking and rolling. Listen, I don't care where you are in the world. It's time for you to get those. I love when that bass line hits. It's time for you to get those bodies in motion. Listen, an object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. We're going to get rocking and rolling this morning. If you're laying in the bed, time to get up. Come on now. Let's get going. We got stuff to do today. We got ish to do today. All right, get up, get moving. If you're out there in public, I want to see you dancing. I want you to be that person. I saw a TikTok video. There was a woman, she was dancing in the parking lot and other people were videoing her. I want you to be the person not videoing other people that are living life free. I want you to be the person that's living life free. You feel me? I want you to be the one dancing. in those videos. There's a reason we all watch when somebody's randomly dancing. There's a reason when people dance like no one's watching, that's attractive to us because it's free and it's joyful and the energy that comes from it is powerful. So get moving, Natasha Smith. Get moving, Nathaniel Banks. Get moving, Melvin Rodriguez. Get moving, Vicky Everett. Let's go, Jacqueline Underwood and Rick Tamburino. Get moving, Bella. Get moving, Michelle McClain. There you go, girl. Just move it. Come on now. Gloria Bond, get moving. Robin Wilshans, my man Stephen Kuhn. Y'all think Stephen Kuhn can dance? I wonder if Stephen Kuhn can dance. We're gonna have to find out. Doug Thurston, get moving. Thanks for the stars, brother. I appreciate that. Tara Murney in the building. I'm so glad you're here. You see, this is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up and I'll say what's up back. What's up, Annette Foster? I see you dancing over there, Mary Lynn. I see Christina Howard is dancing this morning as well. What's up, Jeremy Nolan? My dude, my dude, my dude. Can't wait to launch with you and your crew tomorrow. It's going to be amazing. Kevin Fadley, good morning. I'm so glad you're here. Nikki Budge, thanks for joining us. Mr. West Storm is in the building. David Hill, I'm glad you're here. Bella and Patty and Core Element. Michael's in the building. Kermit and Travis, thanks for being here. Make sure you guys share this out. Do it right now if you haven't already. What's up, Will Franchel? How you doing, Miss Liza Myers Borges? Wendy Reeves is in the building. Kimberly Hatfield's up in here as well as Michael Wilder. Share this out. Go ahead and hit that share button on Clubhouse. I'd greatly appreciate it. Go ahead and share this out. Hit that share button over on Facebook and YouTube. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's amazing spending the mornings with you. I absolutely stinking love you. So let's dive in. Let's continue to dive in. Dive in. I just said dive in. Let's continue to dive in. The one or two little tweaks. That's it. One or two little tweaks to get you to the ultra high levels of success. As a matter of fact, before we go to the next chapter, I want to let all of you know, because today's going to be the last day. This is your opportunity to join if you want or don't if you don't want. One of those little tweaks that we are making yesterday, I was writing my show. I was like, we need to do a challenge. There's 89 days left in the season. I've thought in the past, we've done lots of challenges. We've done fitness challenges. We've done morning 5 challenges. We've done read a book. We've done phone a friend. We've done all these different challenges. There's one challenge we haven't done ever in the 5 years of this show. We've never done any type of spiritual challenge. Now, we've talked about spirituality on this show. We talk about it all the time. I tell you every day, you're a child of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything, and I absolutely stinking love you. But what we've never done is a spiritual challenge. And so what we are doing is we are reading the New Testament over the next 89 days. Now, some of you are like, I'm not Christian. I'm not religious. I'm not. I totally get it, dude. Listen, I'll tell you the straight up truth. I do not want to read the New Testament with a bunch of Christians. I know. People can get mad at me if they want. But dude, I'm not about silos. I'm about getting in the room with people that don't look like me, don't walk like me, don't talk like me, and people that believe differently than me. That way I can get convicted in my beliefs or I can be raised awareness to new ones. So I'm just not a fan of silos. So what we're doing is we're going to read the New Testament together, believers, non-believers, people that read different, that come from different backgrounds and different belief systems, different religions, all that stuff. That's who I want to hang out with. What's up, Christine Green? And so what we're doing is we're reading the New Testament over the next 89 days. If you want to be a part of that, text the word READY to 859-208-2351. Today's the last day to jump in. It starts today. And basically, I'm going to challenge you to change one thing in your morning routine to where we're going to add, you're going to read 1, 2, 3 chapters a day in the Bible, the #1 best-selling book of all time. If you want to join us, that's what we're going to do. And together, we're going to read the New Testament. So it's going to be one little tweak that we're going to add to your morning routine. One little tiny tweak, take about 5 to 7 minutes each day. And we're going to watch what happens over the next 90 days as we experience that. So I'd love for you to do that with me. If you want to, text me the word READY, all right? Not chapters. You know what I mean, Tina Kelly Oliphant. It's a dang Bible, all right? Like today is Matthew 1 through 3, all right? Today was Matthew 1 through 3. That's what you'll read today. Day 2, you'll read whatever. Day 3, all right? So don't be Y'all don't be getting all technical on me. I'll send you and let you know each day. If you text me the word ready, I'll let you know each day what it is to read. All right. Yeah. Verses. That's right. Yeah. Verses, chapters. Oh my gosh. You guys are killing me. All right. All right. If you want to be a part of that, send me a text. All right. All right. All right. Let's keep going.
There's a chill in the air. What could it be? Other than TikTok Tuesday in October, we're going to kick off October with a little bit of funniness, and I'm all about Halloween. I'm all about the scares, so of course, we're going to roll right into it. Now, I'm not going to scare any of my coworkers, and I'm not going to announce it so everybody knows it's coming, but I found a TikTok of a local news reporter who somehow got convinced to go through a haunted house when they don't really know how to handle a haunted house. But it's the type of person you would love to go to a haunted house with.
Information about me is I have never gone through a haunted house by myself. So I just, oh, okay, okay, all right, girl, you just, okay, woo. Okay, I wasn't expecting that one, okay, I'm going, how much longer do we have to do this?
Lena, it's only about
15 minutes in the
22
show.
minutes left.
You got this.
How long have I been doing it? You said
No, we have 15 minutes left in the show.
I love to see Lena making new friends. Getting out there.
Lena, that's a nice person behind you.
Some would describe this as the dating scene in Jackson.
Oh, no. Lena, are you okay?
Is nobody okay?
She's good with that curve.
All right, well, if you
like,
all, do decide to come out. Whoa, okay, all right. I gotta go.
All right, Lena, be safe. Be safe. Vic is gonna come and rescue you.
Hey, Lena, text us.
I almost feel bad for her, but, it's all in good fun. You can't go wrong with a good scare prank. Have a good one, guys, and I'll see you next week. Peace.
How they gonna put a female black reporter in a haunted house? Y'all crazy, man. Some of them little characters lucky they didn't get knocked out. That's all I'm gonna say. They crazy. Listen. There's a story of this big factory, right? There's this factory, and the factory is like an assembly line, think of like a Ford plant. And they're running, they got hundreds and hundreds of employees, and it's just running, it's just stamping, it's just running, it's just stamping, it's just running, it's just stamping. And all of a sudden the whole thing locks up, right? The whole thing locks up and production just stops. And the owner of the factory, he's running around like crazy because every single second that this thing's not pumping, he's losing money, right? He's like, what's going on? Why is the whole thing shut down? We got to figure this out. And they're like, man, we can't get it going. We can't get it rock and roll. They're like, dude, you got to call the dude. So they call the dude. They call the expert, right? And so the expert, he takes like an hour to get there. The whole time production's down. The owner's freaking out because they're losing money every single second, losing thousands of dollars in production, so on and so forth. And he's like, bro, come on. We got to get this thing rock and roll. And so the guy shows up, right? The expert shows up. He walks over. He says, what's going on? They say, hey, man, the whole thing just shut down. I'm not sure. Da-da-da-da. So the expert goes, all right, let me take a look at it. So he walks over to the machine, takes the cover off of the little control panel, and then he reaches over, he pulls out a screwdriver, and he screws in a screw. And after he screws in that one screw, Then all of a sudden, the machine kicks back on and the factory goes back to printing money. So he walks over to the owner. The owner says, "Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Awesome. What do I owe you?" And he hands the owner a bill for $10,000. And all of a sudden, the owner says, whoa, wait a minute. $10,000? That literally took you like 20 seconds, man. All you did was screw in a screw. He says, "I'm going to need an itemized bill of how this is $10,000. So the expert says, okay. He takes back the bill. He takes a second. He writes it down. And he hands it back to the guy. Guy picks it up. He looks at it and he says, "Screwing in the screw, $1. Knowing which screw to screw in, $9,999. You see, the value is in the wisdom, not in the activity. When I was able to transform from the deadbeat that I was to being able to buy my parents a beautiful home, it wasn't this overnight transformation. You see, it was a shift mentally in my identity. And who I was had to be put to rest so that ultimately I could become who I could be. You see this in a lot of cultures, actually. In a lot of cultures, there are, rituals of burying who we were and rising as something new, right? We see this in baptisms, right? As a matter of fact, Matthew 1-3 that we are reading together, for those of you that are doing the 89-day challenge, Matthew 1-3 talks about this. Talks about the baptism of Jesus by John the Baptist, right? Putting to bed what we were, who we were, rising something new. Now, we see this in other cultures as well. There's coming of age ceremonies and coming of age rituals, or rituals that help people transform from who they were into who they possibly could be. And so we see this in a lot of cultures, but here's what I need you to understand. It's not the ritual itself that causes transformation. You see, the ritual sets the tone mentally. That's all it does. When we go under, we come back, right? It sets the tone mentally. It says, death to my old identity, rising anew. Then what happens is we start to perform daily activities. And those daily activities are ultimately what create the transformation, right? So someone that is baptized now might study more intently. They get baptized in the church. Now they carry their Bible around with them. Now they're studying more intently. And then what ends up happening is a little bit each day, they become new. See, they didn't become new in that moment. Now, maybe on a spiritual level, they did. But on a physical realm and in a mental realm, they didn't become new in that moment. It was a little bit by day in the activities that came after that moment. It's the same when somebody decides to create a new morning routine. Somebody decides to create a new morning routine. It is the intention that drives the behavior. And in time, you're ultimately transformed. It's not, okay, powerful morning routine. Okay, I'm just going to start doing morning routine. Okay, boom, now all of a sudden I do a morning routine and I'm transformed. That's simply not how it works. You see, it's the intention. I am going to take time to invest in myself every single day. That intention drives the behavior, which in time drives transformation. You see, it's one or two little tweaks, my friends. Think about it this way. Here's how I want you to think about it. Think about it this way. If you look at if a golf ball, if you're a golf player, right? If I go and I hit a golf ball, right, and it travels 300 yards, right? Depending on where I hit it, it's going to travel 300 yards. Well, most of my hits going to travel 220 yards. Let's be real, right? It's going to travel 220 yards in a certain direction. Now, if I adjust just a hair to where I'm a millimeter to the right or I'm a millimeter to the left, and I hit that same power, swing, momentum, that golf ball is going to ultimately end up in a completely different place. Like 1 millimeter left, 1 millimeter right is going to end up, when you take that over 220 or 230 yards, you're going to end up a ridiculous amount of space in between the destinations. Two completely different places, probably two completely different holes of the course. And you see, the same is true with your life. You might just be 1 millimeter off. Some of the things that you're struggling with, that you're going through, or some of those ceilings you might be banging your head against, or levels that you so desperately want to reach but haven't been able to achieve. I just want you to know that it's not anything on the outside that's going to get you there. It's not that opportunity. It's not if that one person would. It's not that relationship. It's not any of those things. It's one tiny little tweak. It's waking up 15 minutes earlier and doing it every day. It's joining me in a challenge or joining other people in a challenge, doing something just a little bit different every day, just 1 little millimeter. And over time, somebody can grab that mic on Clubhouse, that'd be great. And over time, you can create lifelong transformation. Listen, I know that you have desires. I know that you can feel the tug on your life. I know that you can feel that there is more potential that exists inside you. I know that. That's why you're here. That's why you're in this space. That's why I love you. And I do. Like, if nobody's told you that yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you. So listen. Stop thinking that you need a complete overhaul, because you don't. You might just have one screw loose. And I mean that in the best way, because I sure did. And once I figured out how we can just each day tighten that screw just a little bit more, it has put me on a trajectory that is far, far more direct towards the whole and ultimately towards the goal. Listen, my friends, I believe with all of my heart that you and I are children of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything. And that God made us to be the absolute best versions of ourselves that we could possibly be. Not an average version, not a below average version, but the absolute best version of ourselves that we can possibly be. And so I'm challenging you to continue dialing it in. Just continue making little tiny tweaks that get you on that path to be the best version that you can possibly be. Fair enough? Fair enough. Listen, thanks for joining me here this morning. I absolutely stinking love spending my mornings with you. It's incredible. We're going to go talk about this some more over on Clubhouse. If you're watching live, come join us on Clubhouse. Breakfast with Champions. If you're watching on replay, you can always join Breakfast with Champions because we're there from 5 a.m. till 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time. But if I don't catch you then, come back again tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. We'll do this all over again on GM3X. Thanks for tuning in.
I saw you not so long ago. Was it just yesterday? Got that old feeling that I know. In the dark of the night, I'll be alright. The sun will arise. The sun will arise. The sun will arise. sun will arise. The 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 sun will arise. When I was broken, you came and set me free. I was searching for someone to fight for me. I'll remember it's your light that shines on me. I won't be afraid, I will look to the light. I will not be shaken, I know it will be alright. 'Cause you're with me, I know that the sun will rise.